guys, and welcome back to HR Talks with Lish. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to maintain a work-life balance while still having a passion for your career. Now, when you are working towards your dreams and goals, it is sometimes difficult to keep up with that work-life balance and be able to do things that you can do within your downtime to make you feel good and make you feel at ease and just make you feel like you're on a calm level. Sometimes it really depends on what season of your life you're in. Sometimes you're grinding much more than you're, living. Sometimes you're living more than you're grinding. And sometimes you're on a balance. But I think that most of us are trying to have a balance right now. And I think that's the most healthiest thing for us to do. So I just want to talk about 3 things that I think that you should do to help you to maintain that work-life balance so that you are still passionate about your career and you're not thinking, I just can't do this anymore. Like, what is life? I'm just continuously working all the time. Okay, so my first point is to make sure that you are planning into your schedule some downtime, like planning in time to just be able to chill. So what I mean by that is, like, are you going to see your best friend here and there? Are you going to chill with like your sister or your siblings if you've got a great relationship? Is there a hobby that you like to do? So for example, for me, I like to go roller skating now. I've picked up this hobby and I do go quite often now because I feel like it separates me from work a lot of the time, because I think with me, I'm constantly thinking about work. So how can I separate that? So I've thought about a new hobby to do. I also want to start kickboxing as well. I think I want to incorporate something into my week and not just live for the weekends, because I think if you're just living for the weekend, it's kind of difficult to enjoy life. And that's what I've been finding. So I think kind of scheduling in something to do in the week. So for example, the roller skating, sometimes I do that on a Thursday. It just makes you kind of break things up a little bit, so you're not constantly revolving everything around work. But yeah, I think it's just important to schedule some downtime. Make sure as well that you're taking care of yourself. You're having a self-care day where you do, masks and you just chill, like you got the candles going. I know a lot of people say this kind of stuff, but I actually do think that that's a type of self-care, because I like to just relax sometimes. So, think about what is your self-care. What would you kind of want to prioritize and do within your week that's going to let you have that downtime to reset, to rethink, to re-strategize, and then be ready to go when it comes to working. Because I think sometimes that's the problem that we have. The problem we have is we're working so much, we don't have enough downtime, and then it gets to Sunday, like today for me, it's Sunday, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's Monday tomorrow, like, and I'm working. I think we need to try and dissociate Sundays with a dread, because I think that's how I feel sometimes. I don't know about everybody else. And think about how can we wind down and just be calm and like get ready to get into that week. So that's my first point. I would say my second point is, if you're like, let's say you're working on something at work, like you're working on a project, or like, let's just say you're working on something. I'm going to use a project as an example. You're working on a project and you know that project's going to be done in like 3 months, and you're going to be able to like showcase what you've done for that to everybody. Why don't you book a spa and just get away for like a weekend, or book a holiday? Like, I think that's what I'm going to start to do, because I honestly feel like when I achieve something big at work, I don't really get to celebrate it enough. So why don't you try and like put in some time where you can do that, where you can go for a spa, you can go on a holiday, or you can just go and do something that you want to do for a specific period of time to celebrate that achievement. One thing that I think we need to do more of is celebrate our wins. It doesn't matter how small they are, we need to celebrate our wins, because doing that will help you to still feel passionate about your career, still feel passionate about what you're doing, because you're celebrating yourself along the way. At the end of the day, we need to enjoy the journey of our progress, because once you get to a specific end point and you get there, it's kind of like, wow, I'm here now. And then it's always what's next. So instead of having that mentality, we need to make sure that we're celebrating our wins along the whole journey, because the journey is what's most important. The journey is us living in the now, us living in the present. So if you're achieving something at work, reward yourself for it in some type of way. to keep that passion for your career. Because if you don't, and you're just continuously working and you just kind of like, oh, I did that, and then you're just going on to the next thing, that's when you're going to lose the passion for what you're doing. So reignite the passion, reignite the fire, and celebrate your wins at each stage, no matter how small. And my final point would be to prioritize your health. I think health, as they all say, health is wealth. Honestly, health is wealth. And if you prioritize being healthy by trying to eat, more healthy foods, going to the gym, working out, meditating. And when I say health, I'm talking about mental health as well. So journaling, just reflecting, having time to have a personal audit. Myself included, I need to do a personal audit because I was reading a book, it's called Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David, and he speaks about in there where he went to a beach and he just sat down for the whole day and he did a personal audit. So it's like 80 questions that you ask yourself to kind of figure out like what is your life, like what are you doing, what do you want. We need to do that. We need to take the space to do that. And I think sometimes something that I'm realizing is when it comes to planning in time to go to the gym, planning in time to eat healthily, like by planning your meals for the week, planning in time to journal, meditate, etc. I think sometimes we don't prioritize that because we think it's wasting time. But I'm trying to reprogram my mind anyway to say, look, Alicia, you're not wasting time to sit down and prioritize your health and your mental health, because that's what's going to keep you going. That's going to keep the ignition going when it comes to being passionate about your career. So if we want to continuously be passionate about our career, but also have that balance, we need to make sure we're taking out time and carving out time to reflect on who we are currently and what we want to be. Not just taking 5-10 minutes to do it, but actually taking a long time to do it. And this is something I want to do. Actually, I do want to do a personal audit and answer these 80 questions just to understand. Because I think when you question and you ask why, there's a thing where you ask like the 5 whys I've read about, where you ask yourself a question and then you say why do you want that, why do you want that, why do you want that, and you continue saying it until you actually get down into the deep thoughts about why you want something. And you can do that for your career as well. You can analyze based on what you're doing right now, what do you really want. And yeah, I just honestly think we need to take the time to do this, because if you don't take the time to do it, and then let's say you do want to do it, and this is, I'm talking to myself here, I want to do a personal audit, but I'm like, oh, it's a waste of time. I could be doing this work, I could be doing that. Then it becomes a cycle and you never get to it. And then you never feel like you're enough and you're always in a loop. So yeah, I think prioritizing your health, prioritizing your mental health, carve out that time. That is going to help you to reignite any fire that may have been lost when it comes to like continuously working. So I hope that this video has helped you to kind of see that you can have a work-life balance. There are ways of doing it, and sometimes we just need to think about how to connect and fit in things into our week, into our weekends, to make us feel like we've got that balance. It's not always about working. I do think we need to live, but at the same time, if you're trying to work hard towards something, it depends on the size of your goal. There is time that needs to be sacrificed to work on that. So we've got to think about that as well. But me personally, I'm also trying to enjoy my life on this journey. We're on a journey, and I think it's good to implement downtime into that. So let's think about how we're going to do that so we can ignite and keep the passion alive for our careers. I hope this video has helped you to understand how you can kind of balance your work life, and I will see you in my next video.